I'm a car stalker. I love my life. 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 None of we don't know where tomorrow might bring, cause the future the hours away. So me I live my life today. Me I live my life today. Yeah, so love me make me talk what I want to talk. Me have enough to say. So me I go live my life today. Me I go live my life today. So everybody else just sing it out. Me love my life. Me love my life. Me love my life. So me I live my life today. Me love my life. Me love my life. Me love my life. So me I live my life today.
Pardon all the crazy noises. We've got the air conditioner on, we got fans going. We have been having some crazy refrigeration problems. It has never worked quite right. Recently we've been trying to kind of troubleshoot what was going on with it. I've always said that we probably should have the whole thing vacuumed and cleared with nitrogen, but we just haven't had someone to do that. Nestor called up a cousin of his the other day that knows about refrigeration. He came today because yesterday I started messing with the fridge. Anyway, I tried to add some refrigerant to it, and every time I added a little bit, the temperature went up a little bit more. I felt like it was almost as if the refrigerant was leaking out every time I was trying to put it in. We ended up going from hovering in our freezer box from somewhere between 30 to 40 degrees Fahrenheit to, I think by this afternoon when I turned it off, it was at 75 degrees. So no frost anywhere, nothing staying cold. And just a total nightmare because we're foodies and I've got tons of groceries. So we got some ice, we put everything in ice. And luckily we have an awesome Yeti, and Nestor's cousin is here now. He came after work and he's gonna vacuum the system and hopefully charge it, and hopefully it's gonna work. He said it seemed like there was very, very, very little refrigerant in there. So fingers crossed we can get this taken care of. We ordered a new filter dryer because we've heard that that is really important. We have a filter dryer on there, but we're not sure how old it is. So new filter dryer is on the way. But because it got to the point where we had no refrigeration, we're dealing with this now, and when the filter dryer comes, we'll get that installed and possibly even vacuum the system again, depending on how it is reacting. So fingers crossed for us. I need my freaking refrigerator. I am not camping out here on this boat.
Ahora estamos ahí donde tiene que estar.
Oh my god, after hours, it looks like we're gonna have a refrigerator.
It's cool to learn and see how it's supposed to work.
So Nestor and I are here literally just watching the refrigerator temperature go down. We're like 51.2, 51.1. We're at 49.8, 49.7. It just went down in front of your eyes.
It's very, very satisfying and kind of addictive. I feel like I need to go do something else. It's making me like, just like, ah.
We're pretty excited. It seems to be working. Definitely something that we were doing when we were trying to charge it was not working properly. It must have been letting out refrigerant instead of putting in refrigerant.
Yeah.
Maybe the gauge, I mean maybe the valve that we got for it or something is leaking. I really don't know. I tried to check for leaks really well, but I didn't find anything. Duanel's system definitely worked.
Yeah.
It's definitely way colder than it was anytime yesterday, pretty much, once I started messing with it. I'm definitely at fault for this one, but truth of the matter is, it was not working correctly, which is why I was messing with it in the first place. It really, really needed to be vacuumed. You know, I might have to go to school for like 12-volt boat refrigeration. Nestor's gonna go for diesel marine mechanic. And we're gonna be boat billionaires taking care of all these cruisers with their engine and refrigeration problems.
Write down another number.
49.3. I'm hoping that we're gonna be able to get the freezer side down to 18 and have the compressor shut off the way it's supposed to. And then we'll be able to set the fan for the spillover refrigeration side to like 37 degrees or so. And then it'll pull cold air from the freezer side until our refrigeration box is at 37 degrees. And that would mean our system is actually working properly, which would be pretty amazing.
Back to sewing.
So we've been working on some awesome dinghy chaps. We're super stoked with how they're turning out. And we came here to the dock in the meantime to get the refrigeration worked on, which I'm happy to say for the first time since we got Christopher Robin, we have what appears to be a fully functioning freezer and refrigerator. So exciting. We just pushed off the dock. There's like no wind in this little bay. It's so hot, which is great for like storms and working. We've like had the generator running and the AC on in the boat so that it's tolerable, but there's flies and it's just not really our ideal situation. Yesterday, it was like the hottest night ever. We ran the batteries all the way down because Nestor had accidentally been running the AC off the batteries and not off the shore power. So it like brought them way down to like 60%, and then we didn't turn the battery charger on. At one point in the night, the fans turned off completely. Nestor and I woke right up, like, what's going on? And the batteries were off. They have like the lithium Battleborn batteries or smart batteries, so they have like a safety. They just go into low voltage mode and turn off completely so they don't ever drop below 10 volts. And so we had to deal with that at like 3 o'clock in the morning, and then we were kind of up from dealing with that, and then finally went back to bed and had rattling loud fans, and it was just one of those nights where we like barely slept. We were gonna get up early this morning and go for a spearfish, but I was exhausted and not really feeling that. So it's so much windier out here and so much more pleasant. All right, we're back on our mooring ball out at Dackety. It is so freaking windy and beautiful out here. It's like kiting weather, not spearfishing weather. We just thought it was spearfishing weather because we were stuck in that windless hole. I think it was pretty windless last night in general. Pardon all the wind noise. We are getting a new microphone for the camera with a wind puff, so hopefully that'll get better very soon. But yeah, life is so sweet out here at Dackety. We highly recommend this anchorage and hope that no one ever comes here. We just saw that our neighbor, pardon me, Nestor's pumping up the paddleboard here, so you can't really see it from this angle, took off his mooring and he left a big line out the bow of his boat. I think may have gotten caught around his prop. It happened right in front of this boat behind us, and then he tried to anchor and the wind kind of blew him into the boat a little bit, but I don't think he collided at all. And then he let his anchor out to like drag a bit behind the boat, but he might need a hand, so Nestor is gonna try and see if he can paddle over there and help him out. If he's anchored like under that boat, so pulling the anchor back up might be a bit tricky by himself. Yeah, beautiful boat. They're going right up for those moorings. I guess they probably don't draw very much. Nestor's going to help. And these guys, I don't know what they're doing over here. They rounded the mooring really weird. I thought they got hooked up on it. Then they just grabbed it. Now they've let it go again. I don't know what's going on over there. It's like a hectic morning here in the bay. Oh, it looks like Paul's out. Just as Nestor's about to show up. No more lines in the water. He definitely got fouled up on one. What happened?
Nothing, he wrapped a line on the prop, his mooring line, safety line.
But everything was fine.
Everything was fine, he did a great job.
Yeah, he really did. He like deployed the anchor, let it out so he got behind the
other boat.
Yeah. Good job, Paul. And these guys have finally managed to grab the mooring. Try 3. We've just been here all day working on these dinghy chaps.
So maybe the last week I've been working on the chaps.
I think basically we're on like day 6 of the dinghy chaps, but today all day was actually us fixing a mistake that was made.
Oh, yeah.
At some point, I don't know if it was just the seam that ate up a little bit more than it needed to, or if something wasn't added at some point. But basically, the last panel that we were sewing on was about 1 inch short. So we tried sewing on some inch wide binding. And Nestor hated it and was like, no, it looks terrible. We can't have that. We got to remake this whole last panel, which is kind of a big deal because it's got patches on it. So those are on the front and the back, reinforcements around all the little cutouts. Yeah. So we reused the ones that were on the back, but we still had to cut out all the ones that were on the front.
It looks pretty good, doesn't look bad at all.
And we're getting ready to sew it on the other panel. We had put the dinghy back in the water to run around and do some stuff, and that was a huge mistake because then we couldn't try the last panel on and see it before we sewed them together. Otherwise, perhaps we would have been able to do like a smaller seam or something like that and have saved ourselves a lot of time. But it is what it is. Shit happens. So we're basically where we were yesterday. The panels are made. We got to sew them to the rest of the chaps. And then we probably have another 2 days of like hemming and attaching and figuring out all that stuff. So we're almost done. They look phenomenal. And yeah. So. Nestor is quite the seamster. What do you call a male seamstress? Who knows the answer to that? Other than a tailor. Because I feel like a tailor is more like you're tailoring clothing, right? But a seamstress is like anyone who sews anything, right? So a seamster, that's what I call Nestor. We're out here on the reef trying to work on our new dinghy chaps. We made these, well, mostly Nestor made these beautiful dinghy chaps. When we started using them, right here is a little loose and the water is going up and into the dinghy. Nestor's got some stainless eye hooks and then he did some lashing with a piece of Dyneema back there. So we've got those ropes tied way tighter than they were before. I'd say like an extra 6 inches maybe we were able to tie them. So you can see how tight the skirt is around the sides. And this is our fancy new dinghy chaps. Beautiful work, Nestor. Just a little Nestor's Rasta colors inside. We have these really cool covers for the air valves so that they're not out in the sun, but you can also access them really easily. This really nice vinyl. We made these attachment points. We're gonna go and get some actual bungee cord. We didn't have any, so we tried out some rubber bands just to see how that held, and it worked really well. We glued these patches down with the 2-part Hypalon glue. So that looks great and is holding the inside really well.
We've been using the dinghy with the chaps on, and we discovered a major flaw that happens to how we did the sides on it. It looks very nice under the rub rail, but when you're planing and going through waves, the water from the bottom hits the rub rail and shoots out. So the side of the chaps was right on the rub rail, getting hit by water, and the water was getting shoved through the chaps and the dinghy into the dinghy. Like horrible.
Like a lot of water.
Like a lot of water. Then I was like really down this morning. I tried and stick it like and tighten it really well. I put like stainless steel eyes and put some lashings of that like crank on it, and it was a little better, but it still is flopping around. We really looked at it and saw how, you know, how the boat reacts when it hits a wave and all that. So I kind of like folded the edge and put it above the rub rail, and it stopped happening. But right now, to fix it, we're gonna cut it a little shorter so it's above the rub rail. It's gonna be pretty much the same, but instead of like coming on the angle in the front and staying under the rub rail, it's gonna just keep going up and staying above the rub rail on the sides of the boat. And in the front, there's no problem with the design because it's like a little pocket.
Cutting this edge.
You like stitch some Velcro to some Hypalon, and then you glue it to the Hypalon on the rub rail. So that's what we're gonna do.
So how has this project been for you?
Like surfing a wave. Up and down.
I think we're in like week 2 of dinghy chaps, and we were finally thought we were done, and we got to take them all off and start sewing again.
Start cutting.
I'm having the most frustrating YouTube creator week ever. Last Thursday I went to upload our Patreon early access, and I could not for the life of me get it to upload. Our hotspot said that we had used like a ton of hotspot data and that there was 4 days left until it was gonna renew. I was like, okay, well that freaking sucks, but our Patreons are the best and they're gonna totally understand. So I'm gonna just wait 4 days and then upload this and release it early to the Patreons instead of, you know, 7 days early. It'll be 3 days early. I'm sure they won't care. Day 4 comes, I turn the hotspot off, I turn it back on, it says that there's internet, I try and upload the video again, and I'm getting nothing, 0% uploaded. So I call T-Mobile and I talk to them, and they tell me that although the hotspot said there was 4 days left, there's actually like another 13 days from this point until I get new internet access on there. I was like, okay, backup plan. We have AT&T, really great phone plans. I'm gonna just add the mobile hotspot back onto our phone plan, and I'll get 15 gigabytes of mobile hotspot, and it'll cost me like an extra $5 a month, and it'll be a great backup plan, and I'll be able to use that 15 gigabytes right now and upload this freaking video. So I do that and try to upload the video, and it's like, you know, 24 hours later and it's at 13%, and I'm like, what the heck is going on? I don't understand why this is happening. So I start looking into it a little bit better. I guess at some point our editor started sharing our videos to the desktop as .movs instead of MP4s. I'm no computer tech, so I'm not really sure how this works. It just happened. I've shared a million, not a million, but you know, quite a few videos, no problem, and uploaded them with no problem. So I think basically it used up all of our data trying to upload these huge files. Now I've figured that out, but we have no data. Also, I went to delete the partially uploaded video from our YouTube account and accidentally deleted last week's video. No. So chapter 21, which had like a ton of views and a bunch of comments and was our new dinghy chapter, is now not on our channel at all. And I'm going to have to also upload that video again and beg people to go and watch it so that there are views even though they've already seen it. The behind the scenes of the glamorous life of a YouTuber. I'm definitely gonna owe some Patreons. If you're not a Patreon already, go support our channel. Help make days like this easier for me. We don't even make any money doing this. I really enjoy it. It's a passion of mine. So I'm not gonna stop, but it's not all fun and games and playing out on the boat and fishing and kite surfing and living the sweet life, just so you know. It is Labor Day weekend in the DOD and it's wild out here. There are boats everywhere. Nestor's got a freaking mess out here. He's decided to organize our aft cockpit lockers. Look at, we've got a bunch of pirate flags on some sailboats over here. Last night, this boat drove up on the reef in the dark. The sea tow came out today, was here for about an hour. Then the owners came and met sea tow. Then sea tow went into town and then sea tow left. So I'm not really sure what's going on over there, but they're on the reef and like it's just a totally different atmosphere here than normal. It is normally us and we know the names of every single other person here. It's like us and Steve and John. It's Saturday night, so I imagine tomorrow will be pretty full up here, especially because it's kind of windy out. Hope you guys can hear me okay with the new microphone. And I would imagine that it's not the best for like being in a lot of other spots. There goes John on his little sailing dinghy. Cruising by. Hey John! What do you think, Nestor?
I'm gonna go back to cleaning my stuff. I don't even want to look at this. Oh, look at the boat!
Yeah, they're coming in and coming in and coming in. I like these, all these sailboats, they must be together. They all have matching pirate flags. While Nestor's cleaning out there, I'm making us the Labor Day shoestring fries. I'm defrosting some grouper that we caught the other day to make fish burgers. I made some coleslaw that's in the fridge and I am baking some fresh buns. It's gonna be a good dinner. Fish burgers, shoestring french fries. Nestor's got the cockpit almost clean.
Well, I cleaned both of the lockers and organized everything. We have some spectators, the neighbors see us, like a very interesting couple. Young guys on the sailboat.